and welcome to the December 8th, 2024 episode of Nick's News. I am your host, Nick, brought to you by Some Budget Studios. That's right, I'm finally putting money into this project of ours. We're live every Sunday, and I thank you all so much for catching the replay or tuning in live with us on Facebook and YouTube. That's right, we are dual casting, and it is fantastic. This is a program dedicated to bringing good news to counter all of the bad news that we are bombarded with on a daily basis, with the hope of bringing a little bit of joy back into the world. Many of our articles are pulled from sites like goodnewsnetwork.org and goodgoodgood.co, but we appreciate all of the articles that are sent in by you, the viewers. So, hello everyone. Let me pull up all my stuff. Make sure we've got everything going. So, back to good news episodes. I know the last week we had a cool news episode. We are back into the good news episodes for today and for next Monday. More on that later. And then we're going to have our follow-up episode the Sunday after that, and the year in review on the last Sunday of 2024. So look forward to those episodes. We'll start off with our news brew. I pulled a good one. It is known... Let me get the camera in. As FUDGE by Oddside Ales. This is a 12% ABV Imperial Barrel Aged Stout with Dutch cocoa powder. And from the wonderful movie A Christmas Story, only I didn't say fudge. I love that film. I have adored it. My father absolutely loves it, and I picked that up from him. It's a great movie, a great Christmas story. So, yep, Ralphie, producer Donna, in the Facebook chat saying Ralphie. Hello, Chris, in the YouTube chat. So, we've got a bottle, so we have the Battle Song bottle opener. There we go. Let me move that chat just a little bit. Okay. And because we have an Imperial Stout, we are going to, of course, use our Harpoon limited edition snifter. We'll get into the theatrics of a 1-minute pour. Maybe next year, when we start to expand Nick's News even more, we'll do like a pour timer. There's all sorts of fun stuff we will be able to do next year with the program. I have put into motion a massive tech upgrade that involves a brand new computer, brand new monitors, a brand new camera. So we are looking at an almost complete technological overhaul for Nick's News that I'm really excited for, and really excited to basically step the production up. So it should be good. Let's get into our bump over to here. Our shout outs. First shout out we're going to do Graphics by Ashford, specializes in graphic design, video editing and effects, and photo editing. Besides being Nick's News' awesome graphics artist, a lot of our graphics, pretty much all of our graphics, are from Graphics by Ashford. Grayson bills himself as a bomb-ass bitch. You can contact Grayson through his Facebook or his Instagram. Links are in the description. I'm never going to get tired of that Graphics by Ashford shout out. Our other shout out is going to be to a Twitch streamer named OrpheusQuine. The other day, I happened upon OrpheusQuine's Twitch stream for Sea of Thieves, and somebody in his chat saw that I had done a few episodes, or at least streamed a little bit, on my own Twitch page, and they asked about it, and then OrpheusQuine asked about it. And we got into a conversation about Nick's News, and it was fantastic. He did a shout-out for me and everything on his stream, so I'm shouting him out here. Link is in the description. If you want to check out the friendliest pirate sailing the Sea of Thieves, OrpheusQuine on Twitch is fantastic. So, to Grayson and to Orpheus, cheers to both of you. Ooh. Oh, that beer is just deep, rich, fudgy goodness. Oh, that beer will make you swear. Chris in the YouTube. Bet he is bomb ass. News quote. Even if I don't reach all my goals, I've gone higher than I would if I hadn't set any. And that is from Danielle Fotopoulos, who is an American soccer coach and a former player, and who currently holds the all-time National Collegiate Athletic Association Division I records for goals and points in soccer. That is absolutely amazing. And I love that quote. Because sometimes you fall short, or sometimes you don't. Chris in the YouTube going off about he is bomb ass. Yeah, okay, Chris. But Danielle Fotopoulos, that quote, when you set goals, and sometimes maybe you won't complete them, but at least you're trying. And you'll get even further than you thought you could by just trying to achieve those goals. So I love that quote. Yes, I have met Grayson. He is. Even if I don't reach all my goals, I've gone higher than I would have if I hadn't set any. So Danielle Fotopoulos, thank you very much, ma'am. Oh, it's such a good fudgy beer. All right, bug update. Another good week for the bugs. Sue, our Asian forest scorpion, is absolutely refusing to take food from the tongs when I offer it. But he's well fed, and he looks to be in good health, so he must be hunting up the crickets that I'm putting into his vivarium. I've noticed a distinct lack of them, so clearly he is getting them at his leisure, which is good. I watched that he has really good prey drive, so he's just hunting them down. Elmira, our vinegaroon, is still in hibernation, so I'm probably just going to be anxious for the next couple of months until she finally emerges and we get to see her on a nightly basis again. And lastly, Ripley, our tailless whip scorpion, is a scuttle-bug, moves at incredible speed, and is basically a terror to anything and everything that lives in her vivarium. So all the bugs doing very well. We are going to get into the bulk of our broadcast, and that is our good news. Now, our broadcast is broken up into 4 major categories, and those categories are science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice articles that we like to end on. So we are going to start in category 1, science and technology. Our first article is going to come from Cassidy. Thank you very much, Cassidy. I called this Crack-a-Lackin' Concrete. And I am going to copy and paste these into the chat if y'all want to read along. And again, all of our links are in the description if you want to go through and read any of these at your leisure. If someone from the chats wants to confirm to me that those both hit. Rebecca saying the Facebook hit and YouTube has hit. Fantastic. So we've got both good. I'm checking one thing real quick. All right. MSU researcher. New concrete formula could be key to fixing the damn roads. This was posted to Wood TV 8 here in Michigan and is from Matt Jaworowski. And if you watch the video that's with it, David Horak, one of their reporters, is a friend of mine. And it was really cool to see him pop up on the little video of this article. So, hi, Rebecca. Hi, Will, in the Facebook chat. All right. You've probably heard the old saying about Michigan's 4 seasons. They are fall, winter, spring, and construction. There are plenty of factors that hinder the state's infrastructure, but one of the biggest ones is the wear and tear on our roads. A team of researchers at Michigan State University are tackling the problem head-on with a new type of concrete that they claim is flexible, self-heating, and self-healing. This would be fantastic. Not only could it save drivers all sorts of headaches, but it potentially could be a major money saver. Bill Jin is an assistant professor at MSU's College of Engineering. He says to understand this new form of concrete, you have to understand the product typically used now. Concrete has been around for more than 2,000 years, and it has one key strength. It is very strong in compression. If you go to Ford Field, go to the Spartan Stadium, you'll see the columns, you'll see the bridges, and the piers. Jin told News 8. But there's one key drawback. Concrete is very weak in tension. That's why the current concrete that we use for roads has steel reinforcement. The steel provides the tension capacity. Hi, Lilith. However, even with the steel reinforcement, the temperature swings in Michigan and other wear and tear can be too much for the concrete, and the bending and stretching within creates cracks. Those cracks allow water and chemicals into the concrete, exacerbating the problems and ultimately causing the concrete to fail. Jin and his team of researchers have been working to find the best of both worlds, maintaining the compression strength of concrete while being flexible enough to prevent tension damage. They have advanced to the point where they have developed a type of concrete that is twice as strong and more than 500 times as ductile. That built-in flexibility also gives the new form of concrete the ability to self-heal. With normal concrete, you form very large cracks. You can't really stop anything, water, aggressive chemicals, from getting in. But our bendable concrete is able to form very fine cracks, Jin explained. Yes, Lilith, in the Facebook chat, we are finally potentially getting a big upgrade to our roads here in Michigan. Those cracks are thinner than human hair, so thin that neither water nor corrosive chemicals can get in, effectively keeping the concrete sealed. Instead of the problem getting worse, the material maintains its strength and, when factors swing the other way, expands and shuts the cracks on its own. The new form of concrete is also considered self-heating. During sunlight, the concrete is able to absorb some energy. Not too much energy to heat the concrete by itself, but the energy is absorbed, stored inside of the concrete, and when the temperatures go down, that energy is activated, Jin said. It releases the energy just enough to melt the snow on the surface. It all boils down to a potential product that could drastically change Michigan's roads and open up funding earmarked for infrastructure to other places. According to the Citizens Research Council of Michigan, the state of Michigan budgeted $5.7 billion for road and bridge programs in 2023. Part of that giant number is a large emphasis on improving infrastructure, and another is cost inflation. But road maintenance as a whole still racks up a giant price tag and potentially could be drastically reduced by concrete that requires less work. Jin also noted that the infrastructure system wouldn't need to be totally overhauled. The new concrete can be applied as a protective layer on top of healthy roads that are already in place. We just need a couple of inches of the new concrete, 1 or 2 inches. That would be enough to serve as a protective layer to have those functionalities, he said. In the Facebook chat, Lilith asking, wasn't Roman aqueducts made with a self-healing concrete mix? Is it wasn't or weren't in that question? I don't know right now. Either way, I swear they figured out how it was self-healing. They did, and we actually talked about that on a previous episode. The way that Roman concrete worked back in the day, and we're talking the concrete that had constructed the Colosseum, is they used very large chunks of limestone in the concrete mix, whereas today for concrete we pretty much grind it all into powder. What was happening is these large chunks of limestone, when water would get into the cracks in the concrete, it would get to the limestone, and the limestone would break down just a little bit and would fill the crack like platelets sealing off a cut. And it was effectively reforming the concrete and strengthening it again and sealing the cracks. So that is the key to the Roman self-healing concrete. And so this is kind of similar, where instead of getting large cracks, which are inevitable, this concrete is only cracking in small amounts, and those cracks aren't enough to let water in that when it freezes it expands and blows it open even more. It's just very fine cracks that don't let water or chemicals in, and when it heats up, it just seals right back up. So it's really cool. Producer Donna, I wonder if this new concrete will feel spongy in the summer. I don't know. That's really interesting, and I kind of want to see like an example of it. So we'll have to keep an eye out. Jin said the next step for the product is to demonstrate how it works and to promote it, educating people about how it could impact our communities. Currently, we are talking with MSU infrastructure planning facilities. Hopefully, we can install a demonstration project inside the MSU campus, which I will go to the MSU campus to check that out if they do so. We can have one side by side, he explained. One is normal concrete, another is our self-healing, self-heating, bendable concrete, and we can see exactly with our eyes, or even by some sensors, what is happening. How ours is more advantageous compared to the conventional concrete. That is awesome. Yeah, Lilith, that one from Facebook chat, Lilith saying, I couldn't quite remember because it's been so long since I read about it. It was a while ago that those came out. And Eliza has hit the chat. I'm back, baby. Hello, Eliza. So to Bill Jin, assistant professor at MSU's College of Engineering, and to everybody working at Michigan State University on self-repairing concrete. Cheers. Oh, my bad. And to Cassidy for sending us that article. Cheers. Oh, that beer is good. Oh, fudge. All right, so we're going to move on to our second article. I called this one Diamonds Are Forever. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Oh, and to backtrack just a hair, I see producer Donna in the YouTube chat. It would be awesome for porch stairs and wheelchair ramps. And Grayson saying, might have to experiment with that on, or Chris Hollander saying we might have to experiment with that on my front steps. That would be really cool too. All right, if someone from the chats wants to let me know if those articles hit. I got into the festive mood. I don't know if you can see it over my my shoulder here, but my bottle of Maker's Mark has mistletoe on it. And I have a little snowman who has little stars that have the date on it, so I'm counting down the days to Christmas. Showing in both. All right, yep, everybody's confirming. Cool. Revolutionary diamond battery by the UK offers 5,700 years of safe, sustainable energy. This was posted to Industry Tap into News by Nidhi Goyal on December 8th of 2024. Hey, Tim in the YouTube or in the Facebook chat. UK unveils the world's first nuclear-powered diamond battery. The UK has introduced a revolutionary power source, the world's first nuclear-powered diamond battery, with an incredible 5,700-year lifespan. Developed by researchers at the University of Bristol and the UK Atomic Energy Authority, or UKIA, this groundbreaking innovation taps into the energy of carbon-14, a radioactive isotope, to generate electricity. Carbon-14 emits short-range radiation, which the diamond casing safely absorbs, allowing the battery to generate small amounts of electricity without posing any risk. Operating similarly to solar panels, this battery converts the high-speed electrons produced during radioactive decay into usable energy, offering a safe and efficient solution. Thanks to carbon-14's half-life of 5,700 years, the battery retains half of its energy even after thousands of years. This makes it a durable and reliable power source for applications that demand long-term energy without frequent replacements. Thanks to carbon-14's half-life of 5,700 years, the battery retains... Oh, wait, what? Is that the exact same? Nope, I just started to reread it. My bad. This innovative approach provides a continuous low-level power supply, with potential applications ranging from medical devices to space exploration. As Sarah Clark, director of the Tritium Fuel Cell at UKIA, explains, diamond batteries offer a safe, sustainable way to provide continuous microwatt levels of power. They are an emerging technology that uses a manufactured diamond to safely encase small amounts of carbon-14. Uh, Producer Donna, carbon-14 is the same radiation we use to date fossils. Fascinating. With its unmatched longevity and reliability, the carbon-14 diamond battery could transform various sectors. It offers a sustainable alternative to conventional batteries, particularly for devices requiring long-term operation. Professor Tom Scott from the University of Bristol highlights the technology's versatility. Our micropower technology can support a whole range of important applications, from space technologies and security devices to medical implants. We're excited to explore these possibilities with partners in industry and research. The Diamond battery represents a bold step toward a future of sustainable, long-lasting power solutions. With its potential to revolutionize industries, sorry about that, it marks a milestone in energy innovation. That is really cool. To everybody working on this at the University of Bristol and the UK Atomic Energy Authority, and to Professor Tom Scott and Director Sarah Clark, cheers. Producer Donna, who is obsessed with the Voyager program, we need to figure out how to get a couple of those batteries out to the Voyager siblings. Donna, there's no way we can even get something up to the speed necessary to reach the Voyager probes. Not... eventually, they're gonna run out of power. It's sad, but it's true. So that's going to get us out of science and technology. We're going to move on to health and medicine. This first article was sent in by Cassidy. Thank you very much, Cassidy, for this one. I called it, Check Out My Sick Ink. Yes, Chris in the YouTube chat, did you hear one turned back on? I think last Nick's News we talked about it. Last Nick's News, the Cool News episode, we actually talked about the fact that they extended the longevity of Voyager 1, right? And Voyager 2, they got its X-band working again. So, really cool stuff for both Voyager probes. So yeah, I called this one Check Out My Sick Ink. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if y'all would like to read along, and if y'all would like to confirm that they've hit the chat. Producer Donna in Facebook, I refuse to give up on the Voyager siblings. Oh, I had it backwards, my bad. Okay, so Voyager 1, they've got its X-band working again, and Voyager 2, they got its, they've extended its longevity. Producer Donna confirming both are showing, so let's get into it. Biocompatible liquid ink enables scalp-printed electrodes for non-invasive EEGs. And this was on both the website that Cassidy sent in and goodnewsnetwork.org. We're going to use the article that Cassidy sent in, which is from the News Medical Life Sciences page. It was written... I think it just says Cell Press. Yeah, the source is Cell Press. And it was posted on December 3rd of 2024. For the first time, scientists have invented a liquid ink that doctors can print onto a patient's scalp to measure brain activity. This technology, presented December 2nd in the Cell Press journal Cell Biomaterials, offers a promising alternative to the cumbersome process currently used for monitoring brain waves and diagnosing neurological conditions. It also has the potential to enhance non-invasive brain-computer interface applications. Our innovations in sensor design, biocompatible ink, and high-speed printing pave the way for future on-body manufacturing of electronic tattoo sensors, with broad applications both within and beyond clinical settings, said Nanshu Liu from the University of Texas at Austin. Electroencephalography, or an EEG, is an important tool for diagnosing a variety of neurological conditions, including seizures, brain tumors, epilepsy, and brain injuries. During a traditional EEG test, technicians measure this patient's scalp with rulers and pencils, marking over a dozen spots where they will glue on electrodes, which are connected to a data collection machine via long wires to monitor the patient's brain activity. This setup is time-consuming and cumbersome, and it can be uncomfortable for many patients who must sit through the EEG test for hours. Lou and her team have been pioneering the development of small sensors that track bodily signals from the surface of human skin, a technology known as electronic tattoos, or e-tattoos. Scientists have applied e-tattoos to the chest to measure heart activities, on muscles to measure how fatigued they are, and even under the armpit to measure components of sweat. Chris mentioned in the YouTube just had one a couple months ago. That was probably not fun, Chris. In the past, e-tattoos were usually printed on a thin layer of adhesive material before being transferred onto the skin, but this was only effective on hairless areas. Designing materials that are compatible with hairy skin has been a persistent challenge in e-tattoo technology, Lou says. To overcome this, the team designed a type of liquid ink made of conductive polymers. The ink can flow through hair to reach the scalp, and once dried, it works as a thin film sensor, picking up brain activity through the scalp. Using a computer algorithm, the researchers can design the spots for EEG's electrodes on the patient's scalp. Then they use a digitally controlled inkjet printer to spray a thin layer of the e-tattoo ink onto the spots. The process is quick, requires no contact, and causes no discomfort in patients, the researchers said. The team printed e-tattoo electrodes onto the scalps of 5 participants with short hair. They also attached conventional EEG electrodes next to the e-tattoos. The team found that the e-tattoos performed comparably well at detecting brainwaves with minimal noise. After 6 hours, the gel on the conventional electrodes started to dry out. Over a third of these electrodes failed to pick up any signal, although most of the remaining electrodes had reduced contact with the skin, resulting in less accurate signal detection. The e-tattoo electrodes, on the other hand, showed stable connectivity for at least 24 hours. So the regular EEG was failing after 6, and these tattoos can go for 4 times that. Holy crap. Additionally, researchers tweaked the ink's formula and printed e-tattoo lines that run down to the base of the head from the electrodes to replace the wires used in the standard EEG test. This tweak allowed the printed wires to conduct signals without picking up new signals along the way, says co-corresponding author Zimin He of the University of California, Los Angeles. The team then attached much shorter physical wires between the tattoos to a small device that collects brainwave data. The team said that in the future, they plan to embed wireless data transmitters in the e-tattoos to achieve a fully wireless EEG process. Our study can potentially revolutionize the way non-invasive brain-computer interface devices are designed, says co-corresponding author Jose Millan of the University of Texas at Austin. Brain-computer interface devices work by recording brain activities associated with a function, such as speech or movement, and use them to control an external device without having to move a muscle. Currently, these devices often involve a large headset that is cumbersome to use. E-tattoos have the potential to replace the external device and print the electronics directly onto a patient's head, making brain-computer interface technology more accessible, Milan says. Can you imagine if you have a patient who has a spinal injury and they can print on a tattoo that's going to feed neurological data to a sensor that runs an exoskeleton or any sort of mobile assistance device for that patient, and they'll be able to walk again or at least regain mobility? Like, the potential uses for this technology are bonkers. So this is really cool. To everybody at the what were both the schools that were part of this? Just a moment, let me find it again. Lord knows I should have memorized it. To Nanshu Liu at the University of Texas at Austin, Jose Milan, and Zimin He, and the University of California, Los Angeles, and to Cassidy for sending in that article. Cheers. Was just thinking that in the YouTube chat. Yep. That's amazing from Will in the Facebook. Producer Donna, they are also looking at it for VR gaming. I mean, everybody wants Ready Player One to be real life, one way or another. This next one, we used one of our typical article titles. Oh wait, hold on. Pinky in the Brain. Tim in the Facebook chat. Pinky in the Brain. What are we going to do? What are we going to do tomorrow, Brain? The same thing we do every night. Trying and take over the world. I used to love Pinky in the... I love the Animaniacs. So this next one is one of our typical article titles. We haven't had it in a little while, so here we go. Cancer. Fuck cancer. I'm going to copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. Julie in the Facebook chat. Narf. And if I can get some shout outs to let me know that those have hit. Okay, Julie's confirming we've got Facebook. Just waiting to see if we've got YouTube. Is it taking its sweet time to show up in YouTube? Rebecca, article is hit. Oh, Chris confirming we've got good on YouTube. All right, here we go. New study shows potential to use AI and detection dogs to spot cancer in a simple breath test. And this one comes from goodgoodgood.co. It was posted by Cameron Baker on December 4th of 2024. These snoots are made for more than just booping. Spot It Early, a biotech startup working to transform cancer screening, just released a new study pointing to the successful results of using both artificial intelligence and canines to detect cancer early in breath samples. The researchers call this a bio-AI hybrid cancer screening approach. By using AI to assist cancer-sniffing dogs, which have long been utilized by various laboratories to detect disease, cancers including breast, lung, prostate, and colorectal cancers were able to be detected with high rates of success. The research, dubbed the Rainbow Study, has just been published in Nature and marks the largest clinical trial to date for cancer detection using both AI and trained canines. Spot It Early's team analyzed breath samples from over 1,400 individuals between the ages of 22 and 94. The participants provided a non-invasive breath sample in a specialized mask, which was then sent to the lab, which may or may not have been staffed by Labradors. The sniffer dogs did their jobs, but this time, with the help of dynamic sensors, AI-based models, and machine learning algorithms which, according to Spot It Early, could mark the presence or absence of cancer odor signatures in just fractions of a second. AI tech decodes the hundreds of real-time signals from the sniffer dogs, analyzing their physical and behavioral responses, and integrating it with medical data to deliver an accurate cancer screening. That is a crazy merger of a system we already use and the power of AI. Discovering cancer early is critical to recovery. I am pleased to see these promising results and that this new research supports and validates our non-invasive, self-administered cancer screening method. Len Lichtenfield, MD, Chief Medical Officer of Spot It Early and former Deputy Chief Medical Officer for the American Cancer Society, said in a statement. In combining the unique scent-based biometrics of dogs and the power of AI, we have successfully unlocked the technology to detect different common cancers in its early stages with a single test. I expect that these results will pave the way for the development of a new generation cancer screening test to enhance cancer screening capabilities. There was a graph that was provided by Spot It Early showing that detection rates. The test demonstrated exceptional accuracy, achieving high sensitivity markers across the 4 targeted cancer types. There was 94% sensitivity for breast cancer, 97% sensitivity for lung cancer, 97% sensitivity for prostate cancer, and 86% sensitivity for colorectal cancer. So, yep, over in YouTube chat, Chris saying, or could be less expensive too, which would be fantastic. The test also showed efficacy in identifying other cancers as well, according to Spot It Early. Taken together, these results are a very encouraging step toward improving cancer survival rates, especially given the ease of obtaining the breath samples used to perform the test, Lichtenfield added. Considering the invasive methods used to screen for a variety of cancers, the success of breath samples signals exciting potential in medicine. The tests conducted by Spot It Early are based on the detection of cancer odor signatures, which include unique patterns of volatile organic compounds that secrete into the respiratory system in the early stages of cancer. While it was already clear that sniffer dogs could help in this arena, integrating their superior snouts with cutting-edge AI could take breath sample screenings to a new scalable frontier. Following the success of this study, Spot It Early plans to collaborate with leading U.S. medical centers in 2 upcoming clinical trials, which aim to strengthen the evidence for these screening tests. Spot It Early's solution demonstrates effectiveness in the early detection of cancer, Professor Nadir Arber, principal investigator and director of the Integrated Cancer Prevention Center at Sorovsky Medical Center, said in a statement. After rigorously reviewing the clinical validation, I am deeply impressed by its potential to revolutionize cancer screening and set a new standard in early detection. That is awesome. Eliza in the YouTube, I like that it's an producer Donna in YouTube, I like that it's an at-home test. Chris must be really good beer. I mean, it's a pretty solid beer. In the Facebook chat, Eliza confirming that's why dogs can smell it, because of those chemical receptors that are going off and getting picked up in your respiratory system. Kind of surprised we didn't think of this before. So I think we've actually had sniffer dogs for cancer for a little while now. It's just it's getting AI to a point, and machine learning algorithms, getting those to a point where they can observe the body language of these canines, of these cancer sniffers, and start to better understand what the dogs are alerting to. And how well they're alerting. So, like, maybe telling the difference between a false positive, and the dog is kind of thinking about it, and maybe the AI can pick up the difference and say, okay, the dog is false positiving this, and differentiate that between a positive. So that's really cool. To everybody involved in this study, and to this new company, Spot It Early, combining a simple breath test that, as was mentioned by Chris in the YouTube, could be far less expensive than current cancer detection methods. Man, just everything involved in this. Cheers. It's a good strong beer. I gotta check something. Just have to check something real quick. Off to the side. Yep, in YouTube, Chris, definitely less invasive. Indeed. Okay. Got confirmation I'm not an idiot. I mean, sometimes I am, but sometimes I'm not. All right, so that is going to get us out of health and medicine. We're going to move on to category 3, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals. This one was sent in by Cassidy. So thank you again, Cassidy, for this one. Another title that we like to use, For our B articles, this is All the Buzz. And this comes from goodnewsnetwork.org. It was written by Andy Corbley on December 2nd of 2024. Bumblebees increased by more than 100 times in remarkable Scotland rewilding project, from 35 bees to over 4,000. A Scottish field once home to monocrop barley has become a pollinator's paradise after intervention from a local trust saw bumblebee numbers increase 100-fold. Chris in the YouTube, woohoo for the bees! Entitled Rewilding Denmark Field and run by the Bumblebee Conservation Trust, the project has also seen a sharp increase in the number of species passing through the rolling meadows after they were reclaimed by dozens of wildflower species. The area north of Perth is about 90 acres in size, and surveys of bumblebees before the project began rarely recorded more than 50. But by 2023, just 2 years of letting nature take the lead, that number has topped 4,000, with the number of different bee species doubling. Fantastic. This superb variety of plants attracts thousands of pollinators. Many of these plants, such as spear thistle and smooth hawksbeard, are sometimes branded as weeds. But they are all native species that are benefiting native wildlife in different ways. Ecologist Ellie Corsi, who has been managing the project since it began in 2021, said in a quote, "Due to intensive arable farming, with decades of plowing, herbicide, and pesticide use, biodiversity was incredibly low when we started. Wildlife has largely been sanitized from the fields. Rewilding the site has had a remarkable benefit." Similar increases have been recorded in the populations of butterflies, with a tripling in the number of these insects seen on average during a ramble through the field. Eliza in YouTube, or in Facebook, leave the weeds, save the bees, and Lilith absolutely blowing up the Facebook chat with a single post of millions of bees. Chris in the YouTube chat, I've been planting clover for my lawn. Very nice. And it's, producer Donna, that's going to be really nice next spring. Chris, I'm all for rewilding, going feral myself. And Lilith in Facebook, buzz for the bees. This is awesome. Spamming with bees. The numbers of both insects are now so high that Rewilding Denmark Field offers bee and butterfly safaris to the visitors. Now I want to go over there to go on a bee and butterfly safari. Local residents told the Scotsman that on spring and summer days the field is awash with color and hums with the sounds of bees and birds. I want to say it's thousands of bees and birds. Even as multiple housing developments expand around the Denmark Field area, the field is a haven for wildlife. Click see more. Click see more. Where's Nick Cage? Not the bees! Oh my gosh, Lilith, that's insane. Chris in the YouTube chat, I want to go even more now. I do too. That sounds awesome. Cassidy, thank you so much for sending in that article, and to everybody at Entitled Rewilding Denmark Field and the Bumblebee Conservation Trust for seeing a 100 times increase in the number of bumblebees and other species in this 90 acres of land. Cheers. So we're going to get out of flora and fauna, and we are going to jump into category 4, wholesome notes, the really nice articles that we like to end on. This first bit was sent in by Rebecca, so Rebecca, thank you very much for this, and I will copy and paste this link into the chat if y'all want to take a look at this. I thanked Cassidy. Yeah, I thanked Cassidy. I know I thanked Cassidy. I thanked Cassidy at the beginning of that last one. Producer Donna in Facebook saying, and Cassidy. I know I thanked Cassidy on that one. The replay will prove me correct. Yeah, Rebecca in the Facebook chat. Wait, what? Rebecca, we used the photo you sent us and we tracked down information. Because we're like, not the news, but kind of. So we'll do our homework. Like, if you find us good stuff, we'll do our homework. I appreciate, like, articles being sent in, but even sending in a photo of something, we'll do some digging. Thank you again, Cassidy. Everybody in the chat's like, well, you already did, but thank her again. I'm like, okay, fine. All right. The Uncensored Library. I'd actually heard about this thing a while ago when it came into existence, and I don't remember if we did a Nix News article about it at that time, but it bears repeating. Sometimes things like this bear repeating because they're interesting. This was written by the staff of the game Minecraft back on the 1st of November in 2023. The Uncensored Library is a digital haven for independent information. Freedom of expression is a fundamental human right, and yet there are countries that seek to censor their citizens or prevent them from accessing certain information. This is why the Uncensored Library exists, a grand digital library meant to combat censorship, and it's all accessible through Minecraft. Created by the organization Reporters Without Borders and the Minecraft design collective Blockworks, this blocky book bastion was first introduced in 2020 to provide silenced authors a platform in their own respective countries. While social media and other platforms tend to be either blocked or controlled in these countries, Minecraft often remains accessible, giving Reporters Without Borders a way to circumvent the censorship and make information accessible. The library itself is accessed through a Minecraft server, but can also be downloaded locally. It consists of around 300 books distributed between 12 wings, most of them represented by a country where information may be limited. From there, visitors can explore the library and read banned articles in the form of Minecraft books. The countries in the library were selected with the help of Google Analytics by looking at the countries with an active Minecraft community, as well as the RSF's Press Freedom Index. Once a list had been made, journalists from each of these countries then provided the library with their articles so they could be transformed into Minecraft books. The library is carefully curated and regularly updated by the RSF, and also keeps expanding. Just recently, new rooms were added with the texts from countries including Brazil, Belarus, Eritrea, and Iran. In the Facebook chat, hey, from producer Donna, hey now, let's try to stick to actual links and maybe an occasional picture. Let's not go nuts. Rebecca thought that it was a full article attached, but it wasn't, so, yeah, and we used it, of course, but, yeah, if you get full articles, we'll go with those more often. Minecraft is a game that allows its players to express themselves however they want. We're happy to see that this goes beyond just building things with blocks. And there are images of the Uncensored Library. It is an unbelievable construction in terms of like a Minecraft world. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the fact that it holds over 300 books of knowledge that at times cannot be accessed by certain people in their own countries is phenomenal. So to Rebecca for sending us the information about the Uncensored Library, and to the Uncensored Library itself and Block Server and the group Reporters Without Borders for setting it up. Cheers. Chris in YouTube, now I have to go figure out Minecraft. In Facebook, Lilith saying something like, censoring my comment I see. I don't see a censored comment. I don't know what you're talking about, Lilith. I see uncensored I don't read all the comments, sorry. Lilith is cannot be pleased. How dare I not read all the comments? All right, we're gonna move on to our last article of the night. I took a quote out of the article itself. It said, "Always bring your sax." I personally play an alto saxophone, so seeing an article like this really warmed my heart, and I hope it warms yours as well. I will copy and paste this into the chat if y'all want to read along. And if y'all would let me know when these get in. There is also a video with this article, and I highly recommend you watch it because it is a sight to behold. Producer Donna confirming both are up, so here we go. Saved by a saxophone. Delayed flight gets unexpected holiday cheer for cranky travelers. And this was posted on goodnewsnetwork.org by the Good News Network page on December 8th, today of 2024. Lilith in the Facebook chat, well, now you got to play the sax for us sometime. And Eliza, it's like the scene from Christmas Chronicles. With frustrating delays on the tarmac during holiday travel at one of the busiest airports in the world, one might expect only cranky people to make the news. But on Flight 1238, stuck in Atlanta, Georgia last night, summit, which would have been the 7th of December 2024, some unexpected holiday cheer broke out, and everyone joined in for the chorus. Passengers aboard the packed Delta Airlines flight had already been waiting for well over an hour to depart when they were given more bad news. The replacement flight crew was stuck in traffic. The beleaguered flight attendants were trying their best to keep people comfortable and calm on the plane, but the travelers were hot, tired, and cramped in like sardines. Kate Daly could feel the tension rising in the air, but then something magical happened. A man stood up and began assembling his saxophone. Soon he started playing Christmas carols wandering up and down the aisle. The mood on the plane was immediately elevated, although the aircraft was still on the ground. I was surprised and delighted, Kate told Good News Network. People were clapping, singing along, and cheering this man for his playing. The sax player was Wayne Hoey, who served in the U.S. Army Band for 20 years, performing and traveling the world during the Vietnam War in order to boost troop morale, and that's what was needed yesterday during the long delay. Producer Donna saying we should have called it Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Lilith, yeah, Nick, you ought to go grab your sax and play us out. It's actually written in the contract I signed. I want to see this contract again. Oh, man. It would be really interesting if next year I redo like the intro and the outro music is just me playing my saxophone. I wonder if I should do that. We'll see. It was such a lovely thing to witness, and such a gift to everyone during a stressful travel time. He even played Baby Shark for the kids, and made everyone laugh with his teasing horn. He played really well, and everything from memory, Kate reported. After retiring from the Army, Mr. Hoey got his master's in music education and taught a middle school band in Colorado Springs. Today he lives in Augusta, Georgia, serving as a substitute music teacher and jamming for audiences with his Wayne Hoey Big Band. That's awesome. He's known for telling students, always bring your sax. Exactly so they could have the opportunity he had on his flight to Augusta last night, to entertain and delight. An impromptu kindness from strangers is a living example of the holiday spirit, and Wayne is a shining star. Thank you, good sir, for your service then and now, wrote Kate on social media. You just renewed my faith in humanity. You can watch the passengers join Wayne in a Jingle Bells sing-along in the video provided. It starts at the 22-second mark. That is awesome. To Wayne Hoey, Army band performer, and currently now substitute music teacher, and also the saxophone player for the Wayne Hoey Big Band, for your big heart. Keep on jamming, man. Cheers. Bless kind people. Indeed. That is awesome. 7 great articles. Thank you all so much. That was a fantastic set of articles for tonight. I thank you all very much for tuning in or catching the replay on the Knicks News Facebook page or the YouTube page. We're live every Sunday. However, our next episode is going to be on Monday, December 16th. Next weekend, I am traveling, and I am not going to be getting back until like midnight on Sunday. So I am not going to be able to get back in time to do Knicks News, so we are going to bump Knicks News back to Monday the 16th, but we will have an episode. And again, that is going to be our last normal episode for the year. After that, we're going to have our follow-up episode where we're going to look at stuff from the previous episodes this year, and if there were follow-ups to that news, we're going to be presenting those follow-ups. And then the last episode of the year, we are going to be doing our year in review. Knicks News has seen some incredible growth. It's unbelievable. We're at 198 followers and 44 followers on YouTube. And, like, I'm so happy for that. It's unbelievable, and I thank you all so much. I'd love to see us get to, like, 200 followers on Facebook before the year ends. But, like, it's already been so much. Like, my heart's just exploding seeing... like having y'all here and seeing just support for the channel. So it's really cool. Lilith saying travel faster. Rebecca saying be safe and see you next Monday. So yeah, it's just everything's amazing, and thank you all so much. I encourage participation, so if you feel inclined, by all means, you can send suggestions in for news brews, for shoutouts, for news quotes, or for good news articles that you find that we can present on future episodes. If possible, I always appreciate a variety of articles spread out across our categories, and those categories, again, were science and technology, health and medicine, flora and fauna, aka plants and animals, and wholesome notes, the really nice stuff that we like to end on. You can message us on Facebook or on Instagram, or you can email us at somebudgetstudios@gmail.com. Please email, if you're going to message us, message through Instagram or Facebook, the Knicks News Facebook and Instagram, because that correlates everything and lets the team look at everything together. Feel free to like, subscribe, or comment on our Facebook and YouTube videos to get good news into the algorithm. We're still trying to figure it all out, and like I said earlier, I thank you all so much for everything. I'm never going to tell you to do anything. I'm just going to tell you I appreciate all of you from the bottom of my heart. Like, from all of me, I appreciate everything y'all have done getting Knicks News out into the world. And it continues to grow, and I can only hope in 2025 it grows even further. So we got to get good news out there. As always, thank you again. I love you all. Have a great night, and I will play us out.